Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch. Welcome to another top 5 roundup. It's been ages, I've missed wearing this t-shirt. Today we're going to look at the top 5 watches at or around $200. Now $200 US or the equivalent in your local currency is not an inconsiderable sum to spend on a watch. I think this carries a certain set of criteria, a certain set of expectations. The first is it should be a decent brand, something you can be proud of wearing, something you can be proud of having spent a little bit of money on. The second is durability, reliability, longevity, something that you can keep on your wrist and wear every day for 2, 5, 10 years or more. Alternatively, if you're a bit of a flipper or you plan on upgrading this one at some point in the near future, you want to buy a timepiece for 200 that you can get 60, 65, maybe even 70% of your money back, providing it's in good condition. So with that being said, let's get into today's roundup. So as always, these are in no particular order, but as always, I'll start at number 5 with my choice. If I had to buy one of these timepieces, it would be this one. In fact, I bought this one about 2 weeks ago. It is, of course, the Seiko SKX. Okay, so the Seiko SKX, what can I say about this watch that hasn't already been said? It is so ubiquitous as to become almost a cliche, but not without good reason. I bought mine last month and I've been struggling to leave the house with any other watch on my wrist. They really are that good. So at $200, you're getting the K model, so you're getting the made in Malaysia, not quite been able to stretch to the made in Japan, but I don't think it makes much of a difference. Still a few to choose from. This is the 009, I guess this is the classic one, the most iconic of the models. This features the Pepsi bezel and the dial's a little darker actually. It's a kind of charcoal coloured, darker than it appears in this picture. Anyway, if you want to go for something slightly more conservative, there's the all black 007. Both of these ones feature the same dimensions, around 42.5mm diameter, 22mm lug width, 13.5mm thick. These ones have 46mm lug to lug, so quite a short lug length, weighing in at about 140 grams on this classic rattly Jubilee bracelet. If you want something slightly smaller though, there's the 013. Now this is the one that I went for, that's just under 38mm diameter, coming in at 115 grams on the bracelet and 20mm lug width. So perfect for guys with slightly smaller wrists, though to be honest the lug length is the same at about 46. So really try these on if you can and decide which one suits your personal aesthetic. I went for the slightly smaller one, but as I said, the 009 is really the classic model. So what are you getting in all cases? Well, you're getting the Seiko 7S26 movement, entry level, no hacking, no hand winding, 40-hour power reserve, and an accuracy of between -20 and +40. My SKX is currently running at about -13. Not amazing, but within tolerances, it's fine. You get Seiko's crazy proprietary Lumi Bright Lume. It is just mental and lasts all night. No solid end links on these bracelets, however. That's a bit of a neg. I think the bracelet though is okay once you get used to it. I wear mine slightly lower, slightly looser. You get used to the rattle, it's not too bad. Just pressed clasp as well, and as you can see there, they're just push pins, not screw pins. But at this price point, you know, you expect a few negatives. The hard lights crystal is another negative, not as hard as sapphire. No shortage of people selling you modded SKX though, so you can play around with these ones, replace the crystal if you want. Day-date complication, proper 200-meter water resistance as well. You know, it's not a luxury watch. The fit and finish isn't quite fantastic. My bezel insert is a little bit rough, doesn't quite line up at 12 either, which I hear is a common bugbear with the Malaysian models. But all in all, SKX, legendary and deservedly so. Next up at number 4, if I hadn't just bought the SKX, this would have been my choice. It's a Tissot. Alright, so I'm going to cheat a little bit. It's my video, I can cheat if I want to. I'm not going to show you one Tissot, I'm going to show you half a dozen of them. My point is that regardless of what you're looking for, you'll find a Quartz Tissot at or around $200 to meet your criteria. If you want something dressy on a leather strap, you're sorted by this one. A nice looking butterfly style deployant there as well. If you want something dressy but on a bracelet, slightly smaller size, again, no problems, well under $200. I've always fancied this Quickster. Now, it comes in white dial at this price point, a kind of dress diver, a bit of lume on those hands there. I think that would be a great long-term timepiece. You can even afford a vintage style Quartz chrono with Swiss made on the dial, a proper Swiss brand, just over $200. But my choice would be this one, the PR 100. I really like this. I think it's a great clean tool watch style aesthetic, very much like the Zin 556. You can get it in a black dial here on a leather strap. No shortage of options. So regardless of which one of these watches you choose from, you're getting a quality Swiss brand, you're on that Swatch Group ladder, and you're certainly not on the bottom rung of it. Swiss made on the dial. Swiss quartz movement, you're getting sapphire crystal, 100 meters water resistance, and you're getting, without a doubt, the best packaging of any watch at this price point. Now, I've criticised companies before for spending too much on their packaging. I think at $200 though, it's nice to get a little bit of this. A nice box make you feel special. That little tab on the right hand side there, you pull that down, there's a booklet there with all of the Tissot history and heritage, a bit of information about the company. What are you not getting? Well, you're not getting a milled clasp. They're only pressed clasps on these bracelets, but I think you can forgive that, and as discussed, you're not getting an automatic, you're restricted to Swiss. I think that's a reasonable trade-off at this price point though. It seems to be Japanese automatics or Swiss quartz. I think plenty of value points to enjoy from a Tissot at this price point. And at number 3, its little brother, the Symphony, made it into a list a couple of weeks ago. Today, the Orient Bambino. Oh right, the Orient Bambino then. No shortage of options to choose from here either. This one's now in its 4th version. There's been a few halfway iterations as well, so plenty of different styles. All of them quite similar though aesthetically overall. From $139 here for a slightly older one, up to $200 really is the maximum you should be paying for one of these brand new Mark IVs. So what have we got? These are some of my favourites that I've chosen here. This is my favourite looking Mark IV, sunburst dial and this lovely suede strap. I actually used to own this one. I owned the Mark I though, so it was the older movement. Rose gold and black, I'm a sucker for that combination. This one looked so much more expensive than it was. Sat beautifully on the wrist as well. If you want something kind of clean and classic, just go for a silver and black. Again, love these ones with the Dauphin hands and the big indices. I'm not a big fan of these ones, the slightly more fussy complex dial. I think that takes away from the look, but hey, it's your watch, it's not my watch. Regardless, you're getting something that looks a lot more expensive than the price you pay for it. These are all 40 to 40.5 mil diameter, should fit most wrist sizes. Lovely domed mineral crystal, 21 mil lug width though, so be careful choosing the one that you want. Straps, you're not going to have straps lying around in your drawers for these ones. Date complication, only water resistance though to 30 meters, and that mineral crystal prone to scratching. I actually sold mine because I got a big dint in the mineral and I couldn't remove it with Polywatch no matter how hard I rubbed. So if you're clumsy, perhaps look at the Curator. I've got a full review of the Curator coming up. Try and avoid the Mark I. They didn't have hacking and hand winding, but from Mark II onwards, they've all got the hacking and hand winding Orient in-house Japanese movements. They do tend to be a little noisy though, these basic entry-level Orients, but small price to pay for a watch that looks a lot more expensive, a really classy looking item, and should give you plenty of change left from $200. And at number 2, it's another Orient. If you just can't bring yourself to join the Seiko SKX club, go for the Orient Ray instead. So another offering from Orient that leaves you with plenty of change from your $200 and a similar variety of choices as we saw earlier on with the SKX. I like this watch a lot, the Orient Ray 2, especially this one in black, reminds me of the Omega Seamaster 200, the pre-bond model as well, with those sword hands and circular indices. You can get this one in black, you can get it in blue dial as well if you prefer. There's also a PVD, this Ray Raven they call it, very interesting looking timepiece but a little bit over budget today. And you can get the Mako Ostensibly the same watch, but with Arabics and a slightly different handset. The decision is yours. Regardless of which one you go for, 41.5mm diameter this one, so it kind of fits in between the two SKX models, and I think you should view it as perhaps slotting in between those two timepieces. You get a Japanese in-house movement, day-date complication. It's not ISO certified, but you do get 200 meters of water resistance, good loom, screw down crown, all that stuff you'd expect from a diver at this price point. Same set of disadvantages as well though. The bracelets aren't the best, push pins, no solid end links, and mineral crystal on that dial there, so you're not getting the security that comes with sapphire crystal. But I think a really attractive looking watch, this one. Plenty of change, as I said, from your 200 bucks. And finally at number 1, if you've stuck around this long, congratulations, you're in for a bit of a treat. It's a Certina. Alright, a little treat for you at number 1. I was pretty chuffed with myself when I found this one. It's the Certina DS First Ceramic. Now available on Amazon at $197.99. All links in the description, by the way, though clearly this seller doesn't want to sell any because they provided one low resolution picture, so we're off to Joma Shop to get a better look. Price is very similar there. Look at that thing. What a beauty. I think that black ceramic insert looks like $1 million bucks. So Certina, another slightly left field Swiss brand, very much part of the Swatch group though since the early 1980s. 100 odd years of history and heritage, but I think slightly less obvious choice than Tissot. This one, quintessential desk diver. That looks just beautiful. On a leather strap though, so you're going to have to change it out if you want to actually do some diving with it. 200 meter water resistance. Now DS stands for double security. It's a Certina. It's their in-house system where they make their watches waterproof and also shockproof. This one can take a hit or two. Beautifully thin there. I think a nice thin bezel. DS on the crown, screw down crown of course for 200 meters. And look at that case pack, deep etched with a lovely picture of a turtle on there. I think this one a great choice if you're looking for something that you can wear Monday to Friday 9 to 5, swap it over for a rubber strap or a NATO at the weekend. Gorgeous, 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 less than $200. So there you have it, no shortage of decent watches for you to choose from at $200. Seems to be Japanese automatic or Swiss quartz. That's not a bad choice to make, I think. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.